The peasant wakes up, and the first thing he does is grab his phone, where he proceeds to load up TikTok and start scrolling. He scrolls and scrolls and scrolls, looking for more and more dopamine and doesn't even think about stopping. His attention span is so low that if the videos he watches don't have a Subway Surfers gameplay under them, he doesn't watch them. The king. The king's only addictions are food, water, and air. He has no time to obsess over some addictions. He has to focus on things. He has an empire to run. But it wasn't always like this. When the king was just a prince, he also fell for the modern-day addictions. But he used these steps to overcome them. Let me tell you a story. It's the quarantine, so the year 2020, and everybody is talking about this new app called TikTok. So I decided to download it. At that time I was really into parkour, so I followed only the parkour influencers I wanted to see content from. And then I went on the following page, and I started scrolling. I scrolled and scrolled and scrolled. This is kind of fun, I thought to myself, but since I followed only like 10 people, their content started to repeat itself. And I started seeing videos I already watched. So I decided to go check out the For You page and start scrolling. Some of the videos are about parkour, and some of them aren't, but it's still fun to watch, so I keep on scrolling. It's probably been a few hours already. I don't even know how much time has passed. At that point, I didn't even realize that parkour, the topic I was interested in, stopped showing up on my feed completely. I continued like that for a few more scrolls. It's getting kinda hard to close this app, it's so addicting. But then I finally managed to do it. Following this up 2 years later, in the summer of 2022. I'm fully addicted to TikTok. All I do is literally wake up and scroll on TikTok until I'm hungry. Once I'm hungry, I go get some cereal. And while making my cereal, I'm watching TikTok. Once it's done, I go upstairs to my room while I'm still looking at my phone watching TikTok with the cereal in my hand. Once I get upstairs, I turn on my computer, and while I'm waiting for it to start, I'm still scrolling. And I only turn TikTok off when I go play my favorite game, which I actually hated, and played it only because I spent money on it, called League of Legends. This is the reality that most young men are facing right now. And that's not okay. What I just described to you is a severe addiction. And if you relate to anything I just said, keep watching, because I'm going to tell you how I overcame this. I have constructed probably one of the best strategies that will help you overcome any addiction. I put together a plan after watching and reading hours worth of books and videos about addictions. And in this video, I will tell you all of the tips that were mentioned most often, and that I actually think would speed up my process of recovering from my TikTok addiction. Like always, put this video on full screen and focus, brother. You need this. Your attention span is fucked, so just focus, okay? Let's get into it. Let's say there are two people. Let's call them Pepe and Lele, and both of them want to stop drinking. Pepe vows to himself that he will never ever drink again. Meanwhile, Lele just goes about his day, not really thinking about it. Pepe carves his days absent into his wall. Meanwhile, Lele almost already forgot about alcohol because he is focusing on something else already. Then both of them go out to the pub with their friends and are offered a drink. Pepe says, "No, I'm trying to quit. I'm 4 days absent already." Meanwhile, Lele simply replies, "Oh, I don't drink." Pepe's friends keep on offering him drinks, and they make him break. He drinks. But Lele enjoyed the rest of his night in peace. His friends didn't offer him drinks anymore because they know he is not a drinker. Can you see what Lele did better than Pepe here? He changed his identity. So that's step number 1, change your identity. Don't tell yourself, "Oh, I'm trying to quit drinking," or whatever your addiction is. Tell yourself, "I'm not an alcoholic." The main reason fat people are fat is because they go on a diet. It works for a week, and then they snap back, because to them it feels like they are going against the current. It feels unnatural for them to be on a diet, because they still see themselves as this fat fuck who can't control themselves. The reason young guys can't quit porn is because they still see themselves as fappers. They still see themselves as this beta male who has to masturbate while watching the alpha fuck the girl they like. So, I want you to do this, go about your day, and whenever you encounter your addiction, whether it is someone offering you candy, alcohol, or whatever your addiction is, just refuse by saying, "I don't eat candy, I don't drink." In my experience, most people will try to force you to do it after you refuse, but if you tell them enough times, they will stop. You have to shape your mind to almost delusionally think that you never even started doing this addictive shit in the first place. Step number 2, improve your mental health. Let's just be clear, if you are addicted to something, your mental health is shit, otherwise you wouldn't be addicted. It's simple as that. If your mind was stronger, you would be able to resist your temptations, because when you have a stronger mind, you are in more control. You are able to actually think before you do some stupid shit, like eating candy or fapping 5 times a day. It's all about the mind. The reason fat people are fat is because they are mentally weak, because they can't stop eating. It's as simple as that. If your mental health is good, you will feel happy all the time. Why do you think people with good mental health don't play video games? I mean, of course they might play them sometimes, but not even for that 1 hour a day that all the little spurgs try to tell you is healthy. No, they might play for like 20 minutes and they play only because their friends are playing, so they play only for the social connections. Meanwhile, there is you, playing alone, mouth breathing, not even enjoying the game. People with good mental health don't play video games or do any of these pleasurable things because they don't need that extra happiness and pleasure, because their baseline happiness is actually already above that. If you improve your mental health so much that your baseline happiness is higher than the pleasure that you get from these bad habits, you won't even want to do them because it's just not worth it. So how do you improve your mental health? There are 3 habits I want you to get into. The first one is meditation. What is meditation? Meditation is basically just training your presence. There was once a study where they wanted to see what time of the day people were the happiest. And what they found out was that the people felt the happiest, and their brain also felt the happiest, was when there were absolutely no thoughts in their mind, when they were present. Think about the time when you were a kid playing catch with your friends. You were all running, laughing, and having fun. There were no thoughts in your mind. You were present. And when you meditate, that's exactly how your brain feels. I want you to try meditating with me now, just so you see what it feels like, because I know that once you do this, even for just a minute, you will feel better and want to do it more. So let's start. We will do a quick 1-minute meditation session together. Close your eyes and take a few deep and slow breaths. Breathe as deeply as you can and feel your muscles relaxing with every breath. Try to have your exhales as long as possible. Now switch to your normal breathing pattern and focus on the breath. Focus on every little part of your body that the air touches, from your nose to your lungs. And whenever you get a thought, which will be often, that's normal, just acknowledge it and continue to focus on the breath. Okay, and now I'll leave you a minute so you can try it out. Okay, you can open your eyes. Make sure to write in the comments how you liked it. Before we get to the next point, I want to recommend you an app called Medito. It's a free app, and I'm not getting paid to tell you about them. I just recommend it because I use it to meditate every day, and I think they explain meditation very well. Or if you don't want to download anything, click on the card on the top right corner where you will see my meditation playlist. So you can try them out too and see which do you like better. The second habit to drastically improve your mental health is journaling, and specifically gratitude journaling. In this modern world, we always think of how we can criticize something. This building is ugly. This girl is unattractive. This food tastes bad. And that's destructive to our mental health. And gratitude journaling is basically the opposite of this. It's just sitting down every day and thinking, what am I grateful for today? What do I like about this world? I want you to do this. Grab a piece of paper or a notepad and a pen. Pause this video and go grab those things. Do you have them? Okay, and now write down 5 things you are grateful for today. It could be something you did today, someone you talked to today, or something you ate, whatever you can think of. Pause this video and write it all down. You probably feel better, right? Kind of happy and relieved. This feeling won't last long today, but if you practice this more often, you will start feeling like that a lot more. Okay, and the third habit is to go outside, specifically into nature, to some forest or a lake, somewhere where there aren't many houses. Think about the time when we lived only outside. Do you think people were depressed at that time? Do you think they had bad mental health like we do? No, they didn't, because they were in nature. The modern world strips this away from us. We have a natural desire to be more outside, but we don't do it anymore, and that's one of the reasons our mental health is so trash nowadays. In the previous 2 steps, I made you do them immediately, but here, I won't, because some of you might be watching this at night, and I don't want to make you go outside at night. But I will do this. Whoever makes a post on YouTube with a picture of a leaf, I will repost. So go outside in some forest or somewhere where there are trees, pick out your favorite leaf, take a picture of it, make a post on YouTube and tag me in it. I'll repost you. I just do this because I want to see how many people are based and actually follow my advice. The third step is to find other things to do. When you think about the times you fap, for example, are you really fapping because you are horny? Or is it more like, oh, it's 1 p.m. on a Sunday, there is nothing to do, and so you fap? It's probably more like that, right? If you had something important that you really wanted to do, you wouldn't be out here fapping, playing video games, or eating junk food. You would be working on that goal, on that mission. As men, we always need to be on a mission. We need something to strive towards, whether it is some academic achievement, a better looking body, or making money. We are always trying to achieve something more. That's the masculine thing. For girls, it's different. They are feminine. They are more about the right now, enjoying every moment, sunbathing all day, swimming, and just chilling. But that won't make a man happy, am I right? You tried living like that already, and you ended up watching a video about overcoming addictions. You need to have some mission, a goal. So that's what I want you to do right now, okay? Get another piece of paper and write down one thing that you would really want to have. It could be money, muscles, whatever. Okay, stop this video and write it down. Once you have that, grab some tape and stick it up on your wall so you can see it every day. And now use all the free time you have to get it. Do everything you can to achieve that goal. If you do that, you won't even think about doing the bad habits because you know that it will slow down your mission. And the last step is to train your willpower. If you ever studied psychology, you might have heard about the marshmallow experiment. It's basically that they took kids, I don't know how old they could have been, probably like 8 to 10, and they put a marshmallow in front of them. And they told them, okay, you can eat this marshmallow now, or you can wait 10 minutes and you will get another one. This is the ultimate test of willpower, because the logical thing to do here is to wait for that second marshmallow. But when your willpower is weak, it's too hard to wait, and your brain forces you to eat it. And what they found out was that the children that didn't wait, or who couldn't wait for that second marshmallow, had a lower level of intelligence, their BMI was higher, so they were literally fatter, they were less socially desirable, so they had fewer friends, and they would most often end up with a low-paying job. Imagine having that kind of disadvantage in life just because you weren't able to delay gratification as a kid. Not being able to delay gratification is a mental problem. And the way we can learn to delay gratification is by training our willpower. Willpower is the ability to resist desires. Desires are those bad habits, porn, video games, TikTok, and junk food. You have to see willpower as a muscle in a brain. Right now it's weak, very weak, because you still do the bad habits. And so how do you train this muscle? How do you make it stronger? Well, the same way you would every other muscle. By putting it under stress. I learned this technique from Hamza. Put whatever you are addicted to in front of you, and just have it in your eyesight all the time and don't touch it. So let's say you are addicted to candy, then you go into the store, buy your favorite candy, and put it specifically somewhere where you will be able to see it most often. So on your desk, next to your bed, just wherever you are the most. And whenever you get the desire to eat it, don't. Just stare at it like a psychopath and think, why am I so addicted to this thing? Why does it have so much control over me? And you will feel kinda weird, because your lizard brain will try to convince you that this is kinda stupid, we might as well eat it, because it might go bad. But no. You keep on looking and waiting and never eat it. This is how you train willpower. You put it under constant stress so it will get stronger. When I was addicted to TikTok, most self-improvement YouTubers would probably tell me, oh, just uninstall it, but that doesn't work. The same thing with things like porn blockers or YouTube blockers. You put them on, you are happy, but then 2 days later you turn them off again and you go fap, or you download TikTok again. If it worked like this, then all the 40-year-old women who want to lose 20 kilograms this year would lose them, but they don't. If it worked like this, then everyone would have the perfect body and be happy, but it's not like that. Countless people tried this. They tried throwing out all the junk food in their house. They tried uninstalling social media, including me. I tried that. But that doesn't work, because you need to train your willpower first, and then you can get rid of them. The way I got rid of my TikTok addiction was that I literally just moved the app onto my home screen, like the one you see when you open up your phone. I put it closer to myself, and whenever I went to watch TikTok, whenever I got the urge to go scrolling away, I just stared at the app like a psycho. This tip is kind of extreme. That's why I put it last, because only extreme people will be able to implement it. And yeah, that's it for today. Remember, addictions are all in the mind, and so if you make your mind stronger, you will be able to overcome them. Like, subscribe, share, and things like that. Bye.